Waking up with a game with a 9:30 start across the pond in London, I was thinking the Jets are going to start my day off with a victory. Well, that wasn't the case. The Jets wind up losing 20-27 to the Atlanta Falcons. Here are my top 5 takeaways. Jets! Welcome to Jets Talk. My name is Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, I'll be live Monday, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock for my live call-in show with the Jets X Factor guys, so make sure you tune into that and ask us all your Jet-related questions because I want to hear from you guys and what you feel about our first 5 weeks of the NFL season. And then Tuesday, we got our Talking Jets panel, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock with myself, O'Leary, and Greenbean, so come and hang out with us. It's always a good time over there. But let's jump into our video of today, and I'm going to be talking about our Week 5 loss to the Atlanta Falcons over in London. Jets wind up losing 20-27 to the Falcons, and it really did not feel like a very competitive game at all. The Jets get out to another slow start, and the final score does not indicate how competitive the game actually was, because it wasn't. It was really not great. But here are my top 5 takeaways, grades, whatever you want to call it. At number 5, I've got Jeff Ulbrich. And man, did he call a stinker of a defensive game. He came from the Atlanta Falcons, and he was saying all week he's got this database of information that he'll be able to use to help the New York Jets, and it must have been left at home at Florham Park because it was clearly not on display today. Kyle Pitts went crazy on us. He had 19 yards and a touchdown. We had no answer for him or Cordarrelle Patterson. Specifically, where I have an issue with Ulbrich, because I feel like the defensive players were actually like relatively all right for the most part, but it was the scheming that just put them in horrible positions. We just signed John Franklin Myers to a nice 4-year extension, and then we decide to put him in coverage against Kyle Pitts. Yes, the Kyle Pitts that was the talked about as a generational prospect, selected 4th overall this year, in coverage, winds up scoring his first touchdown. Like, no brainer. Why? Who in your right mind puts a D-end on that kind of talent at tight end? So that made no sense to me. But luckily for us, it wouldn't happen again. Oh, wait. It did. We blitzed our linebackers, and we wind up sending Bryce Huff across the field. He's got to run from one side of the field to the opposite side of the field to go cover Hayden Hurst. And they wind up scoring a touchdown on that too. So right off the bat, like right in the beginning of the game, you're down 2 scores because your defensive coordinator laid a friggin' egg. What were you thinking? We had 7 sacks last week. This week, no sacks of Matt Ryan, and I would consider Matt Ryan more statuey than Ryan Tannehill, and we just could not take advantage of it. So Ulbrich, you get a big fat F for this week. At number 4, I want to talk about the third downs and penalties. We were absolutely atrocious in these categories today, and it wound up costing us a ton. Early on in the game, we had a roughing the passer call called against Quincy Williams, which I think is completely a bogus call. He was called for driving his shoulder, driving his body into the quarterback, which I really didn't see. I think he just kind of like landed on him. It's one of the most infuriating calls in all of football, and I really, really wish they would get rid of it because it makes the quarterback even more of a non-football player. They're basically a kicker that throws the ball. It's like, it's infuriating to me. The second roughing the passer wound up being on Nathan Shepard. That was a really bad one. He wound up going low on Matt Ryan, was not blocked into him at all. Ball's already in the air, gets a long completion, and then you just tack on another 15 yards. So what is the benefit of doing that, Nathan Shepard? There is no reason. It was an absolutely horrible decision on your part. It wound up costing the Jets an additional 15 yards that we could have, maybe had back. I don't expect him to be on this team much longer. I would think after the season he'll be gone. Then when we're talking third down conversions were really bad. Specifically at the end of this game, we had a 3rd and 13 that we gave up on a nice little slant in. That was rough. I didn't like seeing that. Zacchaeus, however you say his name, winds up picking that up. And then what drove me even more bananas was on the 3rd and 2, the following set of downs, where Patterson's off to the left-hand side, and then our cornerbacks, for whatever reason, just decided to drop back like an extra 5, 6, 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, and like you only need 2 yards, and this game is like basically over. Like if you stop them there, you at least have a shot. But no, they decided to back off, and it was just a horrible, horrible decision from that side of the field, and the Jets really need to clean this up heading into the bye week. At number 3, we're going to get into some positives, because there are some good things that happened that may go unnoticed by and large for a lot of the fans. And that's the linebackers. C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams have been stacking good games week in and week out, and I am really happy with what we're seeing out of both those guys. I think we got a really nice tandem at linebacker, and I can't wait to get Gerard Davis back into this lineup. Hopefully he's back after the bye week. I think he's got to be coming up, right? What is it, 6 weeks? Really, really liked what we got out of the linebackers today. They both caused fumbles on big-time hits. Quincy Williams is a heat-seeking missile, and I have absolutely loved watching these two guys play. So really, really good grades for the linebackers across the board here. At number 2 for me, I want to give a little bit of special recognition, because there's other areas of the team that have kind of been neglected when I do this 5 takeaway thing. Justin Hardy on special teams. What a fantastic free agent pickup by Joe Douglas. He had one coverage, I guess. He was the gunner, and he's running down, and he pushes his guy into the return man who had called a fair catch, knocking him on his butt, and winds up getting an extra 10 to 15 yards on the bounce from the punt. That was a huge play, and he's done this consistently, like week in and week out. He always has either he's stopping the ball by the goal line, or he's making some sort of smart play for the most part. I mean, I think he had a penalty last week, but aside from that, guy's been a really nice pickup and a really, really strong special teamer for this Jets team. Bryce Hall, he did give up the 3rd and 13, but by and large, this guy has played really well this entire season. He had another few pass breakups this game, and he actually almost had 2 that could have been interceptions. I think that's really the next thing I want to see from him, if he can wind up stealing away some of those close contested passes. The Jets still don't have an interception. They're the only team in the NFL not to have one this season. So secondary-wise, hasn't been great, but Bryce Hall has definitely been a bright spot in this secondary. And then Denzel Mims. We had a Denzel Mims sighting today. He had 2 receptions for 33 yards, and the one was a really nice reception on, I think it was 1st and 20, or 2nd and 20, something like that. I like seeing Mims out on the field. The guy's a big-time target for our quarterback, and for a quarterback that's been having a little bit of accuracy issues, may not be the worst thing to have a nice, wide catch radius out there on the field. So I was happy with those 3 guys overall today. And then at number 1, I want to talk about our offense, because Zach Wilson and Mike LaFleur were bad. Really not good. Was not really happy with what we got out of the offense or Wilson, specifically Wilson more so than LaFleur. Zach did not look very good. He went 19 of 32, 192 yards and an interception, and that looks better than it actually was, because there was a lot of fluff yardage that was gained at the end of this game. Now, I will say he had a really nice long penalty with Elijah Moore that gave him like an extra 40 yards down the field, which was really nice. So that doesn't get accounted into his yards, but it is a nice play between the 2 players, and a bad play on the Atlanta cornerback there. But by and large, Zach missed a lot of really easy plays. He had a bad miss in the flat to Crowder where he was wide open. He had a throw behind Ryan Griffin. He had one behind Corey Davis. The interception he threw while throwing to Keelan Cole, absolutely atrocious throw. Really not good. If you want to take a look at all his throws, I did make an every throw from Zach Wilson video. I'll link that up in the card above. But yeah, no, really not a good day for Zach Wilson. I will say he bounced back a little bit in the second half, but by that point the damage was pretty much done. The 2 scoring drives we went on, or I shouldn't say the 2. The first scoring drive we went on after halftime, we had the really nice kick return, and then Zach didn't throw the ball. They ran the ball every single time, so you could tell there was a little bit of like a, hey, let's calm him down sort of mentality. So I didn't mind that so much. But then there were weird play calls that we had. I believe we had a 2nd and 5, and we threw like this, what looked like it was supposed to be a trick play, where like Zach rolls out one way, throws it to Crowder, like 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And it looked like he was going to be set up to like throw the ball almost, but it was a forward pass. I don't know. It was a really weird play, and I don't know why you would do that on a 2nd and 5 after you're kind of moving down the field. It's just you're asking for a loss of yardage. So by and large, LaFleur's play calling still puzzling for me. I want to see some easier plays for Zach Wilson. Get him in a rhythm. Let's see some more of these quick slants. Let's see some screens. We had the one screen, which I don't know if it's a Zach Wilson thing or maybe a running back thing, but Zach Wilson winds up throwing the ball in the back of Morgan Moses' head. So I don't know if that's like running back just shouldn't have been standing there. I mean, you're talking a 6'6" guy just getting in the way. I don't know. It's been frustrating, but I'd like to see easier plays for Wilson to kind of get in a rhythm. We saw a little bit of the check down stuff to Michael Carter. Michael Carter looks like he's going to be really good. I'm really excited for him. I thought Ty Johnson was all right. Again, they didn't go over 4 yards per carry, but by and large was pretty happy with the running backs and stuff. But yeah, LaFleur and Wilson really leaving a lot to be desired. They have a lot of tape to go back and watch over the course of the first 5 weeks of the season heading into the bye. We have the Patriots. We're going into Foxborough week 7 of the NFL season. So we get a week off. We get to kind of digest this, think about what we're feeling, watch some of the other teams. Hey, and you know what? We can't lose next week. So there's that. All right, guys, let me know what your top 5 takeaways were. What were your biggest wins, your losses of the day, if there are any. Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, go Jets.